What's going on, guys? Jay here. Today, we're going to be talking about Quavo's new album, Rocket Power. Now, up until literally last month, I hated Quavo. Never have been a fan of his music. I never really been a huge fan of the Migos either. I've always had certain songs I like by them, but again, they haven't grown on me until the last couple of months as well. And even Quavo, some of his features like Rap Saved Me, have really started to put me on. And yeah, this album was actually pretty good, despite the fact that I have not only not been a fan of him, but not liked him up until recently. So Rocket Power was a good surprise, and it was very refreshing for the most part from Quavo. He was production wise, it was trap beats still, but they were a lot more robust, I'd say, and they had like a consistent, ethereal, like spacey vibe and aesthetic to them that was really, good. Played into the whole rocket power idea super well. But yeah, let's talk about it. Starting with the intro, Fueled Up. This track kicks off the album with some spacey and like nighttime vibes, synths and drums that progress and swell into a great beat drop, and Quavo starts rapping better than he's ever rapped for the most part in his career. And it's just a bombastic start to the album. He's just bragging his ass off throughout the track, and it's just a super enjoyable song you throw on in the car, little banger to kick the album off. Moving on to Patty Cake, we get our first of two Takeoff features, and I would say this is probably the better of the two. I enjoy both of his features a good bit, but he really steals the show on Patty Cake. Quavo's doing his thing too. He's dropping memorable bars like Unk and Few stick together like glue. Patty Cake is one of my favorite tracks for sure, and it was really just great to hear Quavo and Takeoff trading bars so successfully one last time. Obviously, Takeoff's sudden passing was extremely tragic and upsetting. Only Built for Infinity Links was a great album from the two. And I mean, yeah, man, rest in power. Moving on, we get to Mama Told Me, which is an emphatic and passionate tribute song to Quavo's mother. Throughout the track, he recounts memories of him and his mother, some pleasant, some unpleasant. He also raps about some lessons he learned from her in the second verse while he was growing up. This is one of the more dense tracks in Quavo's whole career. His lyricism obviously is not the best, but his content is potent. He's giving you personal and vulnerable content about himself growing up, his relationship with his mom, of course, stuff with Takeoff throughout the album. There are a lot of great nods to Takeoff, and whether it be sampling his voice on certain tracks, rapping some of his lyrics, and just, constantly Quavo showing his love for him, rapping about how much he misses him. Who Want Me is another catchy banger on the album with some great production from Benny X. He's one of the more interesting producers on the scene right now. He's someone who's making, again, these robust instrumentals. Benny X's production style is very eclectic. I feel like he throws a lot of instruments together but makes them work in such a good way. And on Who With Me, it's more of that. Where Can I Start and Wall to Wall are two good tracks on the album, but are more forgettable to me, some of the weaker tracks. And then it makes you think about the 18-song track list, which is actually shorter for most modern trap albums these days. But still, cutting it down to 14 would have made this album even greater. Again, not that these tracks are necessarily bad, but it's just filler. We're not getting anything new, innovative, or special from Quavo on these tracks. They're just run-of-the-mill. Then we move on to Turn Yo Click Up, which is a straightforward, dark, eerie trap banger from Quavo and Future. We see great choruses from Quavo on a track like Back Where I Belong. We also get a passionate feature verse from Future, who does his thing. He's in his whiny, auto-tune drenched, syrupy rapping bag that is so passionate. One of my favorite, just rapping styles, inflections that Future has to offer. We also get the second Takeoff verse on the album. Again, I don't think it's as good as the one on Patty Cake, but it's still solid, and overall a solid collab from these three, solid track. 1111 is another highlight where we see Quavo's best rapping performance on the album. He's also got, again, some good content here, rapping about 1111 as an angel number and how it relates to him and his relationship with Takeoff. But yeah, at this point, the last leg of the album is a bit of a drag. The album is starting to get repetitive. But again, not necessarily bad, just a little tired out. Rocket Power is another dark trap banger we get from Quavo on the album. Writing clever wordplay like Three Migos Stooges, Larry Moe, and Curly. We also get a genuinely great and personal sung outro from Quavo on this song with some beautiful synths to back it up. And again, overall, Rocket Power is another highlight on this record and one of my favorite tracks here. Overall, Quavo really leveled up on this record. Easily his best solo performance. I really enjoyed a lot of tracks here, and it definitely made me a fan of his. Again, his lyrical content isn't great, but we're getting some unique and innovative production that is very spacey and moody. Again, we're getting show-stealing rapping performances from Quavo throughout the album. Easily definitely a lot of his best writing for sure. I don't know if he definitely has, some good, very good choruses and verses on Culture. But yeah, for those reasons, I will be giving Rocket Power a 6.8 out of 10. What did you guys think of this? Is this a good solo sophomore album from Quavo? Or were you guys disappointed with this? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, notifications, all that. Appreciate you guys. Hope y'all are doing well. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.